Nation, happy Wednesday. We are live. This is good. This is I don't think I have a guest today, so this is at least nothing scheduled. So this is our time to spend together to answer some questions, to hang out, to have some vibes. Wednesday's my project day, so I think one day per week to work on what you want to work on, or at least having some chunks of time to work on whatever you want to work on. Because as entrepreneurs, here's what we do. We come up with all these ideas, right? Hands up, is this you? You come up with all these ideas of what you should do, all these things of what you could work on, and your to-do list or your ideas list just keeps growing, right? However you do, you have your journal, you've got your Evernote list, you got your emails, like whatever, however you keep track of things for yourself, your list of ideas and to-dos doesn't get smaller, it just keeps growing, right? That's what creative entrepreneurs, what we do. And so how do you actually start attacking those things? Well, you need to have some time in your calendar to actually go off and do it. And I think you're going to have some days, you should have some days where you're highly productive and highly efficient, and then other days where you're highly creative, because creativity is not efficient. Creativity is not productive. Right? Like, it's messy. It's a lot of circling around and thinking and brainstorming and wondering and what if and taking some small starts, and it's not efficient at all. And so we judge ourselves for that. Well, creativity is supposed to be messy. It's creativity. That's the whole point. It leads to amazing things, but we often will prematurely optimize. It's like, well, why am I not more productive, or why am I not more effective? Because you don't know what you're doing yet. It's okay. Right? So I think you need to have that newness on some days in your calendar, because if all you're doing is being really productive, you're going to end up hating your life, because you're just repeating the same day over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? So there has to be some time on your calendar to allow for creativity, for your new ideas. And so for me, that's Wednesday. Today's a Wednesday. Yesterday was insane. Yesterday was so crazy. It was my first filming day back. And so I filmed, I don't know how many videos, insane number of videos for the YouTube channels. Then I did 2 IG Lives. We had Pablo on, then we had Tom Billieu on. And just, it was my first catch-up day. It was my first full day back. And it was just bonkers crazy. And tomorrow is going to be crazy too. I got Bremlinks in the morning and then interviews and podcasts all day long. And just my entire calendar is full. And so Wednesday's a day in between that's just open to say, okay, what do I want to work on? What do I feel like working on? I already know that stuff is happening in my business because I recorded my videos yesterday, and I've got my interviews and everything happening tomorrow. So I've got this time freed up now to work on whatever I want to work on. And I think having that matters. It'll make you continue to love your business. It'll help you not burn out. It'll help you not feel like you've just bought yourself a job. If you're just all in on creativity and it's all you're doing, you're probably never making anything. Nothing gets released. You're not building a business, right? You need to have efficiency. But if you're just all efficiency, then you become a robot and end up hating your life. So you need to have that mix. And so the easiest way for me to do it is days, right? Just chunk off the entire day to work on whatever I want to work on, because I know I've got time on my calendar for the other things that have to get done. Anyway, that's my little quick rant for the day. Let's see what you guys got. If we want to go live, we can do that. You have questions, use the little question box thing at the bottom, and we'll see what we can do. We'll see how we can help. Okay, let's see. Request to join. Okay. I want to know how to find your content in Spanish. We have a Spanish channel. We might have 1 million subs on the Spanish channel. Well, we will soon. I forget what we're at right now. It's like high 6 figures. We take a video at least one a week and we dub it. So it's the same content but dubbed into Spanish. So if that's your jam, you can go check it out. People ask me if I speak Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. I can get by in Italian. My mom is Italian, so I'm half Italian. And so if it's spoken really slowly or if it's written out, I can make out 50 to 60% of Spanish because it's close enough to Italian that I can get by. But yeah, I don't speak Spanish fluently. Hello from Colombia. Welcome aboard. Great to have you. Let's see. Questions. Here we go. How do I tell if it's from? Okay. Question from I am 500. What do you think is the best type of fundraising for a nonprofit? Um, Doing something that actually brings them value. I think people are fatigued with just another charity, and they're doing it because it's a good thing to do. But you're competing with so many other options and so many other charities and so many other causes. Do something that I'm actually going to benefit from. So I can buy something that actually helps my life and contributes to a great cause. I think every nonprofit needs to be a lot more entrepreneurial. Making money is really important. Even if you're a charity, you're a church, you're a charity, making money it's not number one, like you're on a mission, which is great, and entrepreneurs are on a mission too. And so you don't need to make as much profit because it's going back into all the causes that you're doing. But yeah, thinking beyond just donations and actually having something that you're selling, a product or service that you're selling that can bring value to people is how you make it not just make you a lot more money, but also makes it a lot more sustainable. So that you're not always not begging, but it's like waiting for the next fundraiser or dinner or event, and bringing people a lot more real value. Coming live? All right, we're going to bring in a movement maker, Kristi, and see what she's got for us. Kristi, I sent the invite. We'll see. There she is! Kristi Maggio in the house. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy New Year. So excited to be here with you. I have a few questions for you, if that's okay.
Let's go.
All right. First is, I know we did the thing on, writing a book and content and things like that. What is your best way of getting that book or that, so other people know about it, see it, other than social media? I mean, I don't have all the followers that you do, but, marketing that because you really want to make an impact with it.
Yeah. So you have a short-term plan and a long-term plan.
Okay.
The long-term plan is you build up your own audience because you have more books inside you. I bought your book. I think the day it came out or the day before it came out. When did I buy your book? Was it pre-sale or was
you bought it pre-sale because it wasn't out yet?
Yeah, I bought it the day before or something it came out. So you've got more books in you. You've got more wisdom in you. This is not like the one and done and that's it, and we never hear from Kristi again, right? So the long-term plan is you build your own. You keep building, keep creating, keep having content. You build your own audience, and every piece of content you gain a new person who loves your world and your mission, and that helps you sell every other book and project that you're ever going to create. But that doesn't help now. It's like, well, but I got my book. How do I sell it, Evan? I don't care. I mean, it's hard to think about the 5-year vision or 7-year, 10-year, whatever. So the shorter term plan is other people's audiences. So how do people hit the bestseller list, besides like the scammy stuff, is they go on other people's shows, they go on other people's podcasts, they go on other people's IG lives. Like you see people in launch, even my friends who are launching their books and they're trying to hit New York Times. You look at launch week and they're doing like 15 IG lives a day with people and podcasts and YouTube, and they're lining it all up till it hit on this day. Now, hitting the bestseller list may not be as important to you, but just getting the word out is you look at who you serve with your book and target all of the podcasts, YouTube channels, Instagram accounts, and offer yourself up as an expert to say, I've got this book. I'd love to come on and talk about it. The more you can customize a message, like, hey, I think it fits your audience because of X, Y, Z. And that's the goal is tapping into other people's audiences to spread awareness for the book while you're in the background building up your own audience and content too.
What do you say about, for example, like my books is geared towards younger generation. What are your thoughts about, speaking engagements, getting paid speaking engagements versus, getting out there and just doing any anything to get started, so to speak, like, or to pay to play also, like, type of a thing. What are your ideas on that?
I'm so pay to play. Just make sure that the person has done the thing that you're trying to do. There's a lot of not scams, but there's a lot of people who will, promise to do things and then never deliver, never follow through. So, make sure that they've actually done the thing that you're trying to do. But I don't think you even need to do that. I think in terms of speaking, the free leads you to the paid. So at the beginning of anybody's speaking career, they're not getting paid to do things. And then as you get better and get more momentum and get more traction, you start to get hired. I did a lot of speaking that was free. I still do speaking that is free. Like I spoke at Tom Bilyeu's Discord 2 weeks ago for 6 hours.
Wow.
Straight. Without going to the bathroom or anything. Like just 6 hours speech inside it. Now it's schedule is only supposed to be like an hour or something. I went crazy, but for free, because Tom's a friend and I just want to help, a friend. It's good karma. It's to help my business and brand, sure. But I'll still do things for free because it either feels right or there's a brand play that fits. But the free leads you to the paid. So the more people see you making content. So like the first international speaking gig that I got flown out to be the keynote was in Kuala Lumpur. And it was a 2 or 3 day event, and I was the keynote speaker for it. And he just found me through my YouTube videos.
Wow. That Mind Valley?
No. It was a Malaysia social media conference. And the guy, he put all this pressure on me when I showed up. He's like, I risked my reputation bringing you here, hiring this YouTuber, so you better deliver for us. Like, all right, let's go. Great pep talk.
No pressure.
Great pep talk, man. Let's go. But no, it worked out. It was great. But by making content. So if you want to speak, then show me you speaking. So YouTube videos of you speaking, LinkedIn videos of you speaking. Combine that with actual speaking. So getting on TED Talks, applying to every TED Talk within 100 miles of where you are and offering yourself up as an expert, being willing to speak on the topic. Because what's one of the main themes that you want to cover and talk about?
How to instill the idea of success in young people. That doesn't matter if they're the C student today or, not good in school. Just the idea that no matter who they are, where they come from, they can also create the life that they want and how to strategically go about doing that.
Yeah. So if you look at that, go look at the list of TED Talks that are 100 miles from you. They all have their themes. It might be around cryptocurrency, or it might be around e-commerce revolution, or it might be around mindset or health, right? Which on the surface, it doesn't feel like it fits what you're doing, but everything can fit what you're doing, because you're talking about success in young people. So you just have to put it within, you don't have to come and be the crypto expert or the health and wellness expert, but you just have to position it inside. Like, listen, if you want to be able to have success in crypto, you have to understand these things as a young person.
Right. You have to have the mindset and,
Yeah. So like mindset applies to everything. So you just have to frame it inside of the event that they're putting on so that it makes sense.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And then you go and you speak, and some of them will be online, some of them will be offline, and then you get more content. And one, now it gives you content to share and create and post, builds your demo reel. But two, it also, somebody in that audience hears you and then says, hey, can you come speak at my company? Right. And maybe that's paid, maybe that's unpaid, but like the more you do, the more you start getting more opportunities to keep doing more. So the key to speaking is speaking. Yeah. So if you, we've done a couple IG lives in the past talking through that stuff. I don't know if we've covered it as much inside Movement Makers. I know like in the past we had a couple
A little.
speaking things, but it's been a while. But yeah, the more people see you and the more you're reaching out, I don't think it'll help you sell a lot of books yet. That's more the long-term play.
Well, even with the book, like the idea is like, even for this one, all the profits go to my foundation. So that, like what you were just saying before too, like it's not necessarily about, that it's it's the message that's the important part. And that's the whole idea. And then that message will then fund other things through the foundation to help kids that are, underprivileged or less advantaged or whatever it is to be able to get mentoring and things to that aspect. So so I like what you had mentioned before, bring value, because before I came on, you had someone ask you that nonprofit question, bring value. And when you're raising money for a nonprofit, and people be to give them something, and then people be more apt to give money because they're getting something in return as well. Because I think that's really true also. One last question. SEO. Okay. I'm all over the place with you today, but it's really important. How do you find the right person to do SEO that actually, because Instagram,
wait, SEO for what? For YouTube, for your website, for what?
For website, for, like, for example, for my online school, my courses, the foundation, they're all linked in the same, I get because of the foundation, I get a $10,000 ad spend every month through Google for nonprofits.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And I don't even know how to use it properly, but I don't know who's really telling the truth to spend the money to say, hey, they actually know how to do SEO. And I know it takes a while. Like, I know it's not something that, they're going to target the right people overnight.
Right. Okay. But that's not SEO. That's ad budget.
It's ad budget, but don't you need to know like the proper keywords and
Yeah, but that's more like ad optimization as opposed, like SEO usually is, hey, how do I get ranked? Normally people say, how do I get ranked organically in Google so that when somebody searches for X keyword, my website shows up. You have a $10,000 a month ad.
Yes. However, it's only the Google words.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like the text. So I have that, but I don't know how to optimize that.
What you need to figure out is what is the offer? Like, where are they going? So when I find your ad, I'm going to click on it. What's the call to action? What are you trying to get out of it? Book sales, donations?
One of them is for book sales. Okay, so I have 4 different ones. One of them is for book sales. One of them's to, in which if you buy the book, then the money is automatically goes to the foundation. Then they could see what I do with the foundation. One of them is for them to take for mentoring program. And one of them is for my online school, which is a virtual K or first grade through 12 accredited school, global school.
Okay. Are you maxing the 10K budget every month?
No.
Okay. Well, we got to get there. And are you doing it yourself, or you have somebody helping you, or what? Who's running it right now?
Me.
Good. Okay. How much are you actually spending out of the 10K?
I think like 1,000.
Wow. Okay. This is, I mean, it's huge.
It's yes. And it's terrible because I'm giving this gift and but I'm leery on how to find who to trust or pay to.
Right. Okay. But even if you're doing it yourself and you absolutely suck at it, you have a 10x of your budget, right? Like, you're spending 1K, you're getting 10K a month for free to use, even if you have the worst targeting and the worst click-through rate and the worst off, like all of it. You've got free money that you should at least be spending, because even if you absolutely suck, it's still going to get you something.
Right. Except for I suck so bad at it that I'm only using 1/10 of it.
Yeah. Well, so like that's just expanding the reach, right? So you're picking the keywords that you're ranking up against. You need to go more broad with what you're targeting, just so that you can start spending the budget. Honestly, if I'm you, what I would do is find, because you love investing in young people, I would find somebody young who needs your mindset, belief, encouragement, like the stuff that you love doing, because you invest. I know you, like when you pour into a young person, you like, it fills you up. And when you're sitting there reading like these long, boring articles, and it's like, what am I reading? The eyes start to glaze over, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this, right? So combine that, because if you even just somebody young, one of my favorite things to do is take young people who don't even have the skill set, because that's a easily learnable skill set. Like you're not going to go teach them how to do campaign optimization, but there's so many videos, there's so many articles, there's so much content on there that they may not be like the world's greatest expert, but they can get to 80% proficiency pretty quickly. But why won't they do it? Because they don't have anybody who believes in them, who encourages them, who pushes them, who tells them that it's possible. And that's what you're great at. Like that stuff you're a genius at. And for a young person with very little skills to have someone like you who believes in them, and now they can put on their resume that they're managing a 6-figure budget a year, is wild. So I would think to the people that you've worked with that you really like, and just give them an opportunity to say, hey, I'm thinking about this. Here's what you'd have to do. You'd have to go and spend the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks researching how to do these campaigns. And I want you to come to me with a proposal of what you would do, why it makes sense. And it's going to be full of holes, and it's not going to be like they're clean. They don't even know how to write a proposal. Right. You know, but it's not the point. You're training them. That then this might even birth an entire business for them. Like they don't get paid from this because it's nonprofit, and you're investing into them. But that could be the leapfrog for them to go get agency clients. Like you're basically helping them start their own digital marketing agency, and you are the testimonial client, because most clients are not going to be spending 5 figures a month in ad budget. Right. So they're learning with you, and even if they suck, and as they're getting better, they're probably going to do a better job than you right now. So basically they would be learning Google ad optimization. Okay. You take somebody that you like is there something you can think of who you've worked with, who you just you like them as a human? Yeah. So that, like, reach out to them today and say, hey, I've got this idea. Oh, how wonderful. That's so exciting. Especially, like, I can think of a lot of young people, you know, that I work with, right? And that would probably chomp at the bit to do something like this. So that's a great idea. Well, and someone who you really enjoy spending time with. Like, they make you better. They give you more energy, right? Now, here's the question. How do I give them access to the Google ads without giving them like my passwords? And you can set them up as a manager. Oh, okay. But that's something that you give them the homework to do. Hey, step 1 is, I don't even know how to add you as a manager. So you got to figure that out too. Nice. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a whole learning process all the way around. And then I can have that be a course in my school. So, I mean, that's eventually, because as I go through that and learn with one person how to do that, then it could ultimately become a learning experience, you know. Yeah. I mean, for sure. And it's a case study and testimonial. And it's a I think even more than a course on how do you do Google campaign optimization, it's more about how do you invest in young people and give them opportunity. Right. And that's more right. That's more of it, like a course in the sense of not a course for them to pay, but like a course in which young people can learn a skill that they could then get an employment opportunity out of. Right. And that's especially with people in like
third world countries and places like that that don't have those types of employment opportunities often, that's great for them. So I like that. That's like a bonus. Right?
Yeah, I mean, this makes me think of Jeremy, who've told this story a few times, but Jeremy was a grocery store worker, earning minimum wage, hating his life, hating his job. And he came to one of my events, and then afterwards he's like, Evan, how do I spend more time with you? I love the vibe here. It's not what I'm getting at home. It's not what I'm getting at work.
Mm-hmm.
I'll walk your dog. I'll mow your lawn. I'll wash your car. Like, just how do I spend more time with you? He's like, I don't need someone to walk my dog, man. You know, I love you, but I don't, it's just not a big need for me. And then I was driving on my tour and thought, man, I just love Jeremy. Maybe I'll start a YouTube business with him. And he knew nothing about YouTube apart from watching videos. So I said, Jeremy, I got this idea. And I got him on the phone, and he was on his lunch break or something at his grocery store job. He's just like stocking shelves. It's like, you know, not a job that he was super happy with. And he said he was in. And I said, okay, I've still got, 2 months left on my tour before I can come back and actually work with you. So here's your homework. You need to get this stuff done. And I gave him a list of all the things that he had to watch. Go back and watch all my videos talking about YouTube. Go watch these channels. And I need you to be ready for when I come back in 2 months. And that was the test. Like, if I came back and he hadn't done anything, then I'm not working with Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got a mid six-figure business from in what that took about a year to get to like 6 figures, and now mid 6 figures. And I remember he had an emotional breakdown on one day because he made more in the month than he did his entire year of working at his job. And now he's working with some big name channels with millions of subscribers off of the stuff that he learned, and he's still pretty new into it, but he's become an expert. Now I taught him, like, you can't give your person domain expertise, but it's fine. You can just teach them, give them the mindset and habits and belief to help them go off and learn it. So he did it. 2 months later, I'll come back and I said, okay, so what we're going to do is a test. And I put out a call to say, hey, who wants some free YouTube advice to grow their channels? I'm training somebody. He'll look at your channel and audit it for free. Come in. And we lined up a couple calls for him. And I listened in on his, I didn't say anything. It's like, okay, you're running the show. It's your thing. They didn't even know I was there, but I'll listen in and give you feedback. And I mean, it was a train wreck of a beginning. It was like nervous and like unsure and talking to a client and all this stuff. But like, there were seeds there. You could tell that he had done the work, he had prepared, and those just nerves and that could all be worked through with just extra belief and confidence and training. So that gave me that, like, him doing the work over those 2 months. And I would have made it shorter. It's just I was on my tour. I wasn't coming back home for 2 months.
Right.
So I think if there's somebody that you just, like, he was in my mind for some reason. I just liked him.
Well, you had that connection. Like, there was just something about him, and we don't know why that happens. We don't know. It's just, they leave an impression with you. I like to call them kindred spirits. Like, they're those people that for no other reason why you just are drawn to them, and they just stick with you. So
yeah, so like, I loved him. I wanted to spend more time with him. I thought it'd be a fun project to do, and I didn't know how well it would work out, but it worked out crazy well. But yeah, so you find one of those people, give them some homework, give them a 2-week deadline. They have to tell you how to add them as a channel manager, and tell you a strategy for what you would do. And then you try them out and see how it goes for the next couple of weeks. And if it doesn't end up working out, you find somebody else. But again, like, it's such an opportunity. The fact that you're spending 10% of a free budget that you've got, even then coming in and doing, like, if they're doing 2 weeks of research, because in your next 2 weeks, you're going to be doing all sorts of other stuff. You're going to be booking speaking gigs and podcasts and promoting the book. You're not spending 2 weeks worth of reading articles about Google AdWords optimization.
Oh, it's so boring.
So like, if they do that, like, they're already going to be 500% better than you. And even if they're just spending the $10,000 and they can max the budget, even if it's super inefficient, ineffective, it's still going to get better results than what you're currently doing right now. And now if they spend the next 6 months actually becoming pretty kick-ass at it, what an impact that has for your work, but also for them to feel like they're doing something that's meaningful and matters, and they're learning things, and then springboard that potentially into a business where they can do it for other people too, and use you as a case. Like, you're using them as a case study, they're using you as a case study. That's the path.
Love it.
All right, Kristi, thanks for hopping in. We love you.
So wonderful. Thanks, Evan. Bye.
See you soon. Much love.
Much love. Bye.